20 minutes ago, you saw the Confederate flag removed from the grounds of the Capitol building in Columbia, South Carolina. The crowd nearby cheering as that ceremony lasted less than 15 minutes. South Carolina Senator, presidential candidate Lindsey Graham is not in South Carolina today. He's on the stump running for the presidency, live in New Hampshire. Senator,
right.
How are you? And good morning to you.
Well, sis, I'm doing good. Thank you.
There's a bit of a delay on this signal. We'll try and cut through that as best we could or can now. You saw some of the images from Columbia. What was your view of that? Because earlier in the week you said that flag had to come down. Thank God it has.
Well, it's a historic, moving day. I was born in 1955. The flag's been up most of my life. If we had not taken the flag down, we could not have moved forward as a state. Congratulations to the governor, to the State House. After the shooting in Charleston, we could have done one of two things: become more divisive or reconcile with each other. We chose the path of reconciliation. I'm sorry it took the murder of 9 people in a church to bring about this moment, but I'm very proud of my state, and let's move forward.
Yeah. What do you think it accomplishes, Senator?
I think it takes down a roadblock to the future of South Carolina. It tells the people in the AME Church in Charleston, we heard your plea. We acknowledge that the symbol is divisive, that it tears us apart rather than brings us together. It gives us a chance to move forward. It's an act of reconciliation in a very meaningful way.
Let's talk about a roadblock of a very different sort now. We are just learning that the talks with Iran have been extended yet again until Monday of next week.
Yeah.
Why are we still there?
Well, this thing's becoming a joke. We started with the goal of dismantling the nuclear program of the Iranians who lie and cheat about their nuclear ambitions. If they comply with the agreement that's on the table now, we guarantee that Iran will be a nuclear power. We're about to give the largest state sponsor of terrorism, a lot of money. This should be the Terrorism Relief Act. They're going to get $50 to $100 billion without changing behavior. This is going to go to Hamas, Hezbollah, and Assad. This deal, if complied with 10 years from now, guarantees that Iran will have a nuclear program. How far we've come from the original purpose.
Well, yesterday afternoon it appeared like these talks were going to break up and possibly maybe even John Kerry would leave. That did not happen. Are you saying today that you believe that they're going to figure out a way to finish this?
You couldn't get him out with a crowbar. They want a deal so bad they can't stand it. At the end of the day, we've gone from dismantling the program as an international goal to locking in place a sophisticated enrichment program, infusing the largest state sponsor of terrorism with billions of dollars to go into their war machine to help Assad, Hezbollah, and Hamas. And at the passage of 10 years, they're free to do whatever they would like. This guarantees that Iran will be a nuclear power, and it's going to create a nuclear arms race in the Mideast if they ink this deal.
Well, in the minute I have left here, I know you're on the trail up there in New Hampshire. You told me during the commercial break that you enjoy it. It's a full contact sport there, politics in New Hampshire.
Yeah.
I know you're positive about your campaign. The polling would suggest, though, you're not cracking the top 10, which means you would not be on the main stage for the Fox debate on August 6th.
Right.
If that stays the way it is, sir, will you participate in the forum that afternoon?
Well, I got to make my mind up about that, but Brad Pitt would be in the debate in August. Anybody with any celebrity would be in the debate. I think this is a dumb way to weed out the field. I don't mind weeding out the field over time, but a national poll tests celebrity. Big states have an advantage versus small states. People have run before, have an advantage over those who haven't. It's July, for God's sakes. So a national poll is a lousy way, in my view, to determine who should be on the stage, and I, quite frankly, resent it.
Well, you want to name some names there?
Yeah, the RNC.
Any others?
Fox News.
How would you resolve this, Senator?
I would find a way for everybody who's filed and has got a viable campaign to be on the stage, and after a couple of debates, you could start weeding people out. It's not about me. It's about destroying the early primary process of Iowa, New Hampshire, and South Carolina. Under this construct, nobody really cares about coming to Iowa, New Hampshire, and South Carolina anymore. It's all about money, and what you're going to reward over time is the people with the most money, and you're destroying the early primary process. And I think that's bad for the Republican Party.
Back to the original question. If you're not in the top 10, will you be in the forum that afternoon?
I'll make a decision about that later. I'll do my best to restore the early primary states. We're undercutting a process that works. At the end of the day, you're rewarding money and celebrity over hard work in the early states. All 16 of us come to Iowa, New Hampshire, and South Carolina. And I think we should be looking at these early states to judge how well we are as candidates.
I'm going to take that as a maybe. Senator, thank you.
All right.
Lindsey
Thanks.
Graham in New Hampshire.